Alright, recording, probably, mostly. Anyway, I made this video, and then nothing went right. Computer troubles, I don't know. So we'll see if I still have computer troubles, right? And so we'll find out. Now I can't find the video. Some to-be serious video, just thought it would be funny. I'm so tired, it's probably not a good idea. Oh, looking in the wrong column. No wonder why I'm not finding it there. Anyway, just another one for typical pretentious, I know what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be doing it and whatever, some kind of crap. Blah, blah, blah. You know. Just insufferable.
In his recent video, Philosophical Maps, Piero brought up the fact that after a year or two, most people with YouTube channels burn out and close their channels or become inactive. He attributes this in part to how it's easy to become disillusioned with YouTube. Suppose you began your channel to promote one central idea that you cared a lot about, and you find that YouTube is indifferent or even hostile to that idea. And defending your position...
Gee, that used to work better. Anyway, your computer really is fucked up. So she's doing this, at no point in me turning the camera on just so you can see some stupid image. But she's talking about something like somehow infinite philosophy versus finite philosophy in some way in YouTube, and she's comparing YouTube to real life and the zero-sum game metaphor, and somehow, well, who knows? I don't know. There's no way this is going to go anywhere rational or sensible. And starting off at the starting point being a Piero video is already, you might as well give up right there. Let's see. Oh, here's a Luddite Returns remark. Regarding myself, as I've made antinatalism largely that which I've chosen to engage here on the tubes, I've come across as far more partisan than I actually am. Back in the real world, am far more agnostic, or whatever. So I mean that's really, it's just about whether or not people want to actually be something, actually say, oh yeah, okay, I accept certain realities, certain truth, and that's to just keep running from the truth because they don't like the truth, and that's all this is about. The truth is unpleasant, it's inconvenient, and these people want excuses to run away from it, and they want to be rewarded for running away. And they don't want to be called what they are, lousy philosophers.
You begin to see YouTube as a brutal battlefield where there can be only one winner in any exchange.
Well, realistically, I don't know what like I said, what are you going to do? You're going to exchange recipes, then you can all win, okay? But you can all say, oh yeah, well sometimes it's good with cinnamon, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Like Mounds bars or something. And so you could play that kind of game, if you're doing recipes or makeup tips or some other thing. But you chose to make philosophical videos, which is intrinsically and fundamentally going to be about the truth. It's going to be about an accurate description of reality. So you don't seem to understand what philosophy is. Philosophy is an effort to describe reality. It's like a science. And that's you can't just sit there and say it is and it isn't at the same time. That's stupid. It's called a contradiction. Aristotle came up with this a billion years ago. He figured this out. The contradiction is illogical. Yeah.
Your view of YouTube, and this can even be extended to your thinking of life itself,
well, it can only be extended if you're a lunatic. If you're using YouTube as a lesson on life itself, then you're crazy.
It's a finite zero-sum game.
Well, whatever. This finite thing, do you really think the sun's going to burn forever? Do you think the universe is going to be not frozen forever or something? These are things that are going to happen. So this finite thing, I think you're going to have to learn how to warm up to that idea. The evidence of the finiteness is in the fact that by your theory, there should already be things that are infinite and Where's the infiniters? Where are they? Oh, that's right, they don't exist. So they had infinite amount of time to exist, and they never existed, the infinites. So where are the infinites? Oh, that's right, they don't exist, because it's a finite universe. Sorry, but that's the facts.
If you're convinced that there can be only one winner in any exchange,
in a philosophical exchange, there's a truth to be described. That's right. The evidence points to something. You know, maybe you think your job, if you go to a trial, is to say, well, he's both innocent and guilty. No, that's not your job.
It's easy to struggle for victory and make that your primary motivation.
Well, again, this is what, see, you make these kind of insulting statements, and you think you should just be let off for free. You should be able to be this, make lousy character assassinations, and you should get away with it for free. You're saying that people are on here just for the victory, that they're not here for a cause, or because they care, or because it might mean more than their life itself. You just sit there and insult them with this idea that they're just here playing whatever, some kind of trivial, silly game. I'd argue that you're the one here for the trivial, silly applause. You're the one with the monstrous ego, looking to play little games, little elitist games where you have little elitist conversations, where you all stroke each other and say, "Oh, gee, that was such a erudite point. Oh, that was so interesting, so fascinating. Oh, you're so fascinating. Oh, that pantsuit is marvelous," and blah, 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 blah. You want to do this trivial crap. That's what you're about, bitch. You sit there and insult other people's intentions. You just did it. You see what you just did, right? You think you can insult other people and they shouldn't find it insulting and say, "Fuck you, cunt."
But maybe that strategy has built-in problems.
Yes, fighting for the truth seems so ludicrous. You should fight for some kind of lie, and you should just make something up and fight for that for no reason whatsoever. No.
It can make you incapable of actually hearing what other people are saying to you.
Prove it. So this is the kind of thing. So now you've made an accusation that there's this capacity not to hear what the other person is saying because you're defending your idea. So prove it. Show me an example. No, you're not going to do that.
For example.
For example.
If, however, you realize that YouTube and...
There was no example. For example. You can't say for example when you provided no example. That's called bullshit.
Again, by extension, to life itself, can under the right circumstances be seen as a positive-sum game. You're more likely to...
Under some circumstances can be seen. Now, what does that mean? I mean, you're making a truth claim. You're saying that under some circumstances, what would those circumstances be? Lies? False premises? Oh, yes, well, with certain false premises, you could contrive that God says you have purpose, therefore you have purpose. So, yeah, you can do that. So you can create a God to tell you have purpose. But if you go with the facts that exist, you're going to have a hard time making that up. I mean, with some sort of logical argument. You can just claim it like you just did, but I don't think you can demonstrate it with something called logic.
Find yourself open to new ideas and to what other people are actually saying.
So there's another accusation that somebody hasn't heard what you've said, even though I've made thousands of videos. I play other people's videos in my video, and yet you'll just keep making these accusations that somebody is somehow not hearing the other person. But you won't provide evidence of that. Well, I mean, the evidence isn't that hard. You just show where the person, here's what they said, and this person said they didn't say that. It's pretty easy to do. You just show where they didn't hear. I can show you where Piro makes response videos to videos he didn't even watch. I could show you that. He makes response videos like to the Modern Mystic, and he doesn't even know the guy's living in France. He doesn't know anything about him, and you're just saying, why is he doing this? I mean, he doesn't know anything about this guy, and he's making a response video. And that's pitiful. And he doesn't even know what, like, a simple word like dawdle. He doesn't even know what dawdle means. I mean, you shouldn't even be allowed on YouTube if you don't know what dawdle means. You're going to get into arguments with people from all around the world, and you don't know what a dawdle is? That's pitiful.
You'll be less likely to claim to have all the answers and more willing to explore possibilities with curiosity and enthusiasm.
Oh, curiosity and enthusiasm. Yeah, these are like what? Where's that written in the book of science? When did Aristotle talk about that? When did anybody with a brain talk about that? How about evidence and reason? Oh, yeah, no, we don't want to mess with that. Yeah, that's bullshit, yeah. Evidence and reason. Ooh, no. Let's go with enthusiasm and hope. Yeah, fuck you.
In other words, you're more likely to see that it's possible to play an infinite game.
Whatever that means. See, what is that? It's possible to play an infinite game. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? What is your claim with that statement? What part of my existence is infinite? Where? Prove it.
Playing an infinite game does not mean that you think you'll personally play the game forever. Of course not. You'll age and die like all living things.
Well, he's not even proof of that. I mean, I might not age. I might die, but I might not age anymore.
It means instead that you'll play the game of life, not to struggle to the death.
Whatever that means. You mean struggle till you dead.
Or as a way to silence or destroy anyone who disagrees with you.
Silence and destroy. So, yeah, I mean, I'm the one who's been flagged off of YouTube more than anybody else. And yet, you know, and I'm not the one. I don't flag videos ever. I mean, maybe 3 a year. And yet you're going to make these accusations. Yeah, and that's all they are. It's just cheap, shitty, crappy, bullshit accusations. Slanders is what they are. But fuck you. What I wish you would do is make an argument that, you know, so I wouldn't have to say, well, boy, that was a steaming pile of shit for an argument. Is that driving you off the internet? Somebody called your argument a steaming pile of shit? You're the one with all these accusations anyway, right? You demean people's character, you demean their intent. Let's not even get into the Holocaust denier and the made-up survivor grandfather bullshit. The lies. Yeah. Fuck you.
No. You'll play because you're curious about the way the game evolves. And in the ways that make it more humane and more engaging. In other words, you won't take...
Yeah, whatever that means. So you will play, let's say, the truth of the game is that it is just perpetual war. There's going to be winners and losers, and there's going to be suffering. And the only thing won is the ego-aggrandized, projected values of superficial ego gratification. Why would you play that on purpose?
Everything too seriously. Not because...
Too seriously. So this is somebody with a name, To Be Serious. Obviously, you have no serious respect for the word serious. Obviously.
You don't care about suffering and injustice in the world, but because you're wise enough to know that the way to change those things in the future
is to not say anything, right? Oh, yeah, or to lie. Okay, lie or don't say anything. Don't be honest. Don't honestly state your opinion. That would be a mistake.
Not depend on who can be punished and ridiculed the most.
Oh, whatever. Punished how? Ridicule is part of the game, right? I mean, Aristotle will tell you about that one, too. You want a free ride. You want to just pretend that you're above reproach, that you can just make your claims about the truth, about other people's motives, about other people's behaviors. You can make all your claims. Nobody's allowed to be offended. Nobody's allowed to fight back. No one's allowed to say, fuck you. It's just such bullshit.
Studies have shown that brutality and punishment...
Brutality, you know... So what? Do you think this? You think you're doing some cause, some kind of good with this exaggeration? And that's what it is. It's just preposterous exaggeration.
Often don't change behavior. Instead, when we're given a positive chance to learn from mistakes and see why we made them, we're likely to have more complex reactions and to really make changes.
And what does that all that crap mean? Why don't you give some examples from your personal life? Oh, that's right. These are things you think other people should be changed by, not things you should be changed by. Yeah, the hypocrisy, standard operating procedure. Fantastic. I call bullshit, of course. Fuck you.
In a non-threatening environment, we're more likely to ask ourselves what precisely went wrong and how can we improve those things in the future.
Whatever. You know, the dilemma of human conflict has been around for a long time, and I imagine it's going to still be a problem, and it's finding mediums where people can resolve these conflicts. And obvious, YouTube isn't a brilliant medium. It was created by two guys just trying to get rich. Bought by Google, which is an advertising company, just bought it to manipulate, you know, its ad revenue. It doesn't have a sincere bone in its body, so to speak, or in its construction. It's premised on a lie as a slogan, broadcast yourself. You know, the whole. So what are you expecting from this medium again?
If you think of the situation slightly differently, you might find that you'll begin to see what happens in a different light and even begin to enjoy the process of it.
Oh, so again, who needs this advice? You know, what is this crap? You don't see how this is patronizing and insulting? You want me to give you lessons on how to properly manipulate your vagina so you can have more happiness and joy in your life? What the fuck is this crap? I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to advocate for what I see as necessary perceptual modifications that need to take place in the evolution of the human meme mechanism. I'm here to defend organisms that don't have any capacity to defend themselves. So I'm here to be advocates for them. I'm here to do a lot of things, and none of those things have anything to do with having a good time or enjoyment or any of that shit. If that's why I was here, then I'd just make silly, stupid, fucktarded videos. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to win arguments. Duh.
Asking the questions. As Einstein wisely phrased it, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Or as...
Yeah, really, what's the rest of the context of that statement? I mean, really, change what? What? Einstein apparently couldn't even change his clothes or his shoes. He certainly didn't change his hairstyle. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a guy driven by change, to tell you the truth.
One of my favorite writers, Luke Reinhardt, phrased the same idea in a slightly grittier way.
Oh, yeah?
The whole tendency of the human personality is to solidify into the corpse. You don't change corpses. Corpses aren't bubbling with enthusiasm. You spruce them up a bit and make them fit to look at.
Oh, wow, that was just amazing. Oh, my God. No, it really wasn't. So again, she's making this, she's advocating for this change. So why don't you give me this list of the changes you've made since you've been on YouTube? I haven't seen any. Absolutely none. You're an obnoxious, patronizing, elitist, pompous bitch 6 years ago, and that's what you continue to be. So what have you changed? Oh, nothing at all. That's correct.
It makes you stop and think that the old cliche, change or die, might hold more truth than is apparent at first. That's why...
Oh, cliche, cliche, cliche. So there's 3 cliches in a row. How many cliches in a row can we possibly endure? Ugh.
And it's important to play the long game, the infinite game.
Ah, the infinite game. Here we go again. What? Where do you come up with that? What is infinite about anything to do with anything in this material universe? Explain that to me, please.
And not waste your time on hollow victories of one ego over another.
Hollow victories like what? Ending World War III before it starts. Preventing World War III. Oh, that's a hollow victory. Well, exactly what is hollow to you? When you advocate for animal rights, you really don't want to win because it would be a hollow victory, correct? I mean, if you actually were very convincing and you convinced everybody not to eat animals and you closed all the factory farms, that would be a hollow victory. Because you don't really give a fuck. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, I get it then. Yeah, okay, you're an insincere, pompous bitch. Oh, that makes more sense.
Thanks for listening.
Ugh, insufferable crap. So anyway, I mean, the key thing is this change thing. Change. Why shouldn't you have to be persuaded to change? What are your persuasive arguments for change? First, tell me what it is I'm supposed to change. I'm supposed to change from understanding the universe as being finite, that the forces that affect it as being finite, that certainly the story of the complexity of the story of our origins is finite in its basic structure and function. Consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, addiction, pretty finite. 4 things. What are you going to add? Love? You know, what? What are you going to add? You know, that's going to account for some sort of potential for infinite. There's no potential for infiniteness in this ingredients. There's finite ingredients. There's a finite product. You only want to play with the word infinite because you want to keep pretending there's some option unseen, some God unnamed. The unnamed God. That's all. That's all you're doing. You're saying that, okay, all the named gods are bullshit, but maybe the unnamed God isn't bullshit. Yeah, maybe. He's going to come to the rescue in the infinite. I mean, you're not making a rational argument for any of this crap. If you want people to change their mind, you're going to have to make a convincing argument. You can't just sit there and whine them into it, or nag them into it, or harass them into it. You have to put up the goods. You have to produce the argument. And where is it? I don't see it anywhere. Just in your pretentious, pompous declarations of what everybody else must think. There, that's all the evidence you need. I say so. Miss Hootie Tootie Faluti says so. Believe it. Yeah, well, I'm going to do the or not, thank you very much. And to actually defend your whatever, your infinite super philosophy of possibility and positivity with something called a piece of evidence. Alright, enough of this crap. Yes. Silly fucking world. Really is so hopelessly doomed. So anyway, I guess I'm I am is preposterously tired.